Okay, I have removed the body, pulled all the lamps out, and just left the wires connected. Pretty sorry sight, huh? Yeah, well, it's gonna look a lot better real soon. Okay, got the body right here. I got the LEDs in here just temporarily. I've drilled out the headlight housings, 2mm drill. You can see one of the red lights in already. I have a cool white on the left side and a warm white on the right side. I believe I got that right. Okay, let me set the camera down here. Then we're gonna put a battery under here to show you what the difference is. If I can get it here. See, there's a cool white there. Pretty bright. Here's the warm. Kind of hard with the camera to pick it up, but it does have like a little bit of an incandescent look to it, whereas this one looks more like fluorescent or more like HID lighting on your car. Now watch when I hit the red one. It's a lot more intense than the other two. Look at that. I'm going to have to put 1,000 ohm resistor on that to cut it down a little bit. But that's pretty much what it's going to look like. Now all I have to do is get everything installed and wired. You can see it stick it in there. And once this is all done, it will not interfere with the drive or the truck tower or nothing like that. It will just sit right down on that frame and we'll have plenty of clearance. Okay. So let's get going. Let's make it happen. Okay, YouTube. While I was looking at my wiring on this locomotive, I'm looking at the typical Athearn ready to roll connections to pick up power through the frame. As you can see, top of the truck tower here, there's a wire right here coming off the right side rail, picking up power to the board here. There's no connection on the left side, on the rear. But if you look at the front, you can see the wire coming off the truck tower there. And right here on the right side, or the left side, here's a wire right here, and it goes to a screw attached to the frame. Okay? That's okay, but as this locomotive gets older, the connection between the truck and the frame is going to be compromised because you have a steel strap touching a cast zinc frame. You got two dissimilar metals there. That zinc is going to oxidize and it's going to become a high resistance connection. And with DCC, the locomotive's performance is going to suffer big time. Okay, so we have to fix that. So you're wondering, what do we have to do to fix that? On the Genesis locomotives and later production, they're bringing two wires up from the truck to feed the PCB board. And for the sound decoders that they install, they're coming off the trucks with two wires. You can see there's only one, and it's connected to that strap. So what we're going to have to do, we're going to have to remove the trucks or remove the side frames on one side and solder a wire to the eyelets on each truck and bring that wire up. So we'll have two wires coming from each truck. Okay, so first thing we have to do is we're going to have to remove the side frame on this side of the locomotive. What you're going to have to do, you have to pry very carefully in this area here, very carefully, and try to get on both sides to pry that evenly, because you don't want to break that little pin off. And there we go. This little pin right here is what holds that truck in place. And there's two little dimples that fit into these little sockets here, here and here. You can see them. One here and one here. And that's what keeps the side frame lined up so it won't rock. Keeps it lined up. Okay, remove that one. Go to the rear, do the same thing. Put your screwdriver underneath. Pry very gently. If you just twist the screwdriver, it makes an excellent pry bar. Pull that side frame right off. Set that aside. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to solder a wire onto this eyelet here. This one here on the back side. On both trucks. And this one will be on the front side. On the far end. And the reason we're going to go with that one is if we go with the other one that's closer, you can see here, try to do this with two hands and hold the camera too. If we go with the one out here, yeah, we don't want to go with that one. We want to go with the one on the inside, because in that way it'll come up in this area here and it won't interfere with the truck swing. See, if we put it out here, when the truck swings in a turn, it'll hit that wire. So we're going to have to put it over here. So we'll put it on the inboard eyelet on each end, which will be this one here. Okay? We're going to have to remove the trucks from the locomotive to do that. No big deal. And I'll show you that contact point where existing power from the frame, well, from the trucks, go through the frame and then to that wire on a screw terminal up to the board. Not a very good route for power to travel. Like I said, if you have any older blue box locomotives, it'll work on DC because it's not that critical. But with DCC, if that decoder loses that signal or drops a couple packets, it will shut down on you. And then it'll start back up and you'll be wondering what the heck's going on. I've had that problem in the past. So now all my new DCC installs, I don't care if it's a new locomotive, old locomotive, if it doesn't have two wires coming from the truck to feed power to the decoder board, I'm going to add that other wire. And this locomotive will run a lot better with that connection. Okay? So I'm going to put the camera down and we're going to remove one of the trucks here. It's going to be very interesting, but we'll see what we can do. Okay, the first thing we have to do is we have to get this little wire off this tab. I guess that's not going to come off. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the little clip right here that's hold the wire to the board. Just give it a little push. It should slide right off. Well, in theory. I guess it wants to fight a little bit. Well, looks like the wire's going to come out of it anyway. There we go. Okay, now I'll have to go underneath. I don't know if you can see this, but I have to get a screwdriver underneath here to pop the gear tower cover off, and there it goes. Okay, now the truck should just fall right out once we get the drive shaft out of the way. There we go. And there's the truck. Okay, we're going to solder a wire to this eye. Okay, I got both of the trucks out and I'm looking at them, and this top surface here, you see where the hole is in the center of the truck? That's where the frame, there's a pin in the frame that sits into this hole to allow it to swivel and also to hold it in place. Okay, let me fix this focus here. Okay, that's better. Okay, you can see there's a little bit of oil on this top of this plate right here. And over time, the oil will thicken and get crusty, and it'll impede the flow of current between here and the frame. You can see the bottom of the frame here, the pivot point there. It's all clean now. It's got oil on it. By bypassing that as a source to transfer power, it won't matter if it corrodes or gets caked up with old oil and grease and dirt. It's not going to matter. Okay? So we're going to eliminate that potential problem in the future. Take our little insurance policy now and get our wire soldered on this eyelet right here on that truck, and this eyelet here on that truck. Okay? What I'm going to do next is I'm going to clean this up with a little alcohol, make sure there's no grease or anything on it, put a little flux on it, and solder a wire to it. Okay? So let's get that done.